Welcome to Your Bookkeeping Matters. I'm your host, Lisa Turner, a registered BAS agent and professional bookkeeper, bringing you short, snackable bookkeeping and business matters each week to make managing your business finances easier, so business owners like you can know your numbers, feel confident, and stay on track to reach your goals. Let's get into this week's episode. Hello. It has been almost a year since I last jumped on the mic, much longer than the short break I originally planned. The last episode of this show aired in March 2024, and here we are in February 2025. But now feels like the perfect time to be back, and I'm excited to be in your ears again. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you'll know who I am and what we do in my business. But if you're a first-time listener, I'm so chuffed you've chosen to tune in today. Thank you. So you might not know that I run a bookkeeping practice called Accounted for You. We're not your typical or traditional bookkeepers. We specialise in supporting female-led businesses in e-commerce and service-based industries. We're not just here to click the buttons and keep the books tidy. We're all about being strategic, being an advisor in your business and keeping you across your numbers. We're there to answer your questions and help you feel confident. But I'll walk you through more fun stuff we do in future episodes. Now back to today's episode, which is all about pausing. I first wanted to start by sharing why I took an intentional step back from the podcast, and I did take this longer than planned break because I needed to slow down. But what started as a short break of only a month or two stretched into something much longer and more across my business in different areas that I also paused. But in hindsight, it was exactly what I needed. I basically needed a break and to slow down. Let me tell you about the start of my business to help set the scene. I started it as a side hustle in 2017, wanting flexibility around my kids, not wanting to build a big business. Well, that's what I told myself, and this worked perfectly for a while. But as I became fully booked and the workload got extremely hectic, I had to make a decision. Do I grow this further or stop taking on new clients and close my books? Since done-for-you bookkeeping isn't passive income, I was always on the tools, and with the constant deadlines that come with the finance area, I had to rethink what I wanted to do for myself and my business. For so many reasons, way too many for today, maybe another future episode, I decided to grow and bring on a team member and provide them the same flexibility I had, which allowed us to support more businesses. And year on year, the business grew, not scaled, but intentional, steady, organic growth. And I love that. That's what I chose for my business. But with growth comes more work, more moving parts, more everything. And then in 2024, last year, my family needed more of my time. So I stepped back, I worked part-time, and that meant letting go of a few things, including this podcast. And while I missed the other work and the show, my kids got some extra time with me, and it has set them up beautifully for a great 2025 ahead. And plus, stepping back gave me space to reflect on the clients we support, how we do it, and what I want for me, for Accounted for You, and the team in the year ahead. And so now, like I said, feels like the right time to jump back in, and I am super excited, which is why I thought this would be the perfect first episode, things I learned over the last year, and how pausing can be an extremely powerful tool. Even short pauses to allow yourself to breathe and think and then move forward without diving in and hoping for the best and putting so much pressure on yourself as we typically do as business owners. Pausing the podcast and other areas of my business, for me, it wasn't only about taking a break. It was a strategic decision because I could have shut the doors and said, this is all too hard. I don't have the time to put into it anymore and to be able to try and keep things ticking over at a constant pace. But I love what we do so much, and while it did cross my mind many times, I instead decided to take the space to rethink and refine and reset in ways I couldn't have done if I'd kept pushing through at the full speed I was used to. I use this time to revamp many of our internal processes because if you're one of our beautiful retainer clients, you know we love a good process and checklist and client experience. And now, going forward, we make sure to review at least one process every month, something my accountant suggested, and it's been amazing for us. It helps us keep on top of things, make sure we're doing things the best way for ourselves and our clients. We are not doing things for the sake of doing them. That's the way they've always been done. We're always on a reviewing cycle. And throughout 2024, we also became more intentional about who we worked with, taking on only a small number of new clients in 2024, which meant we could be selective and work with clients we felt we could provide the best value and support to. Because of this, the team also got to experience a slightly slower pace than we were used to, giving them space to learn, to take on new projects, and do other things. On the flip side, we actually let go of quite a few clients, and honestly, it was not an easy decision, but it was something I needed to do for our growth and the direction we're heading this year. I am incredibly grateful for each one of those clients and all of the ones we have now and working together along the way. But stepping back last year and pausing and reassessing our clients had given them also the opportunity to find different bookkeepers to suit their current business needs. And for me, it created space to step into different areas of growth or doing things that I had been putting off for years, like joining an in-person business group, speaking at in-person events, and that's the power of pausing because I would not have done those things otherwise. It's all about stepping away from the noise to refocus so you can move forward in the right direction for you and your business. Now, with all that, was it a hard year? Was it worth it? Absolutely to both of those. But pausing gave me the clarity I needed to move forward for a stronger year ahead. And this is exactly what I'm sharing with you today, the power of pausing, because sometimes stepping back is the best way to move forward. I have learned so many things in the last year I wouldn't have otherwise. As I've already touched on, the processes that we could tweak, the different clients that we wanted to support, and another big one I found, I have learned so many things in the last year I wouldn't have otherwise learned. And one of the big ones I found, and also from speaking with other business owners, is when things feel overwhelming, our natural instinct can be to avoid it and hope it goes away. And I totally get it because that happened to me many times and it still does. But if you're finding your business numbers stressful or overwhelming, well, it can feel like the last thing on earth that you want to do. I get it though, because there's so much going on and sometimes it can feel like you don't actually have any space to breathe and review it and change things. So trust me, hitting pause and reassessing like I've done over the last year, or even just for a moment, can change everything. Because having this space to check your numbers and your systems and your processes can prevent mistakes, save you time, and often save you money as well. Because yes, it's easy to get stuck on a cycle where things aren't clicking or working well for you, but you can't get unstuck unless you step back and look from a fresh perspective. If your bookkeeping feels stressful, it might be time to pause and ask, why? Is your system working for you? Is it taking too much time? Or are you trying to handle it all yourself when you actually need some support? Most people, actually, dare I say all to some degree, need to do this regularly. Pause, reflect, and reset. And when you take that time, you'll get clarity to know what you need to change and where to focus your energy. Now, I work with business owners like you who need to pause and dial in your processes. And that's what I'm here for, to get those numbers processes on track. I truly love helping you make sure you're not just getting the BAS lodged on time, but you also have money in the bank when it's due. You know your profit, you know what money is coming in and what is going out, and you didn't have to do it yourself, be down in the details, but you do use the numbers to help you build a strong and sustainable business for yourself. So let me challenge you this week. Take a moment to pause and reflect on something in your business that needs attention, and you will be surprised the clarity and the excitement and the direction that you'll likely now have around this area that you were pausing to look at. So there's some of my lessons that I learned from a year off, and I wouldn't have had the space or the time or learned these things without pausing. And with that, thank you again for popping me in your ears today. I hope you found this helpful to know it's okay to pause. Give yourself permission to pause and take a breather, whether it's a few minutes, hours, or months. Pausing is powerful. And now, as I mentioned, we'll be back to regular programming with fresh episodes every week. If you enjoyed the show, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps more business owners like you find your bookkeeping matters. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes. And I'm looking forward to chatting to you again next week.